morning and a very warm welcome. You are watching Janata Television and this is the English Bulletin with me, Sushant Akal. The top stories first. Coronavirus tally climbs to 99 with 17 new cases. 2-month-old child tests positive. Cabinet decides to extend lockdown until May 18th. Threats from coronavirus in border areas still persists. NCP Secretariat meeting ends inconclusively, fails to decide on standing committee's meeting slated for today. India plans to airlift 400,000 stranded citizens, decides to send aircraft and Navy ships for evacuation. And German Chancellor Angela Merkel gives green light to Bundesliga, says football can resume later this month. And now the news in detail. The 2564th Buddha Jayanti is being observed today to commemorate the enlightenment of Lord Buddha. Followers of Buddhism in Nepal and other countries are celebrating the Buddha Jayanti, praying for peace across the world. Buddha Jayanti is celebrated on the full moon day in the month of Baishakh according to the Nepalese lunar calendar. Lord Buddha was born in Lumbini in 563 AD as Prince Siddhartha Gautam. He left all the riches and worldly pleasures in search for knowledge at the age of 29. After 6 years of penance, he finally attained enlightenment on this very day. He was also born on the full moon day of Baishakh and left the world at the age of 80 on the same day. By the time he was widely acclaimed as the messenger of non-violence and peace. Later, his disciples founded Buddhism based on the principles of his teachings of non-violence. Special functions are held each year to mark this festival with much fanfare at various pilgrim sites across the country. Pilgrims throng to Swambhunath Stupa and Bauddhanath in Kathmandu, Phorping, Namo Buddha of Kabre, Halesi of Khotang, Tarke Ghyang of Sindhupalchok, among other places for worship. However, the celebrations have been affected this year due to the coronavirus pandemic. The government has confirmed 17 new cases of coronavirus in the country. With this, the total number of people infected with coronavirus has reached 99 in the country. According to the Ministry of Health and Population, the new cases were reported in Parsa district yesterday. The age group of infected people ranges from 2 months to 66 years. Among the infected, 10 are male and 7 are female.
17 जनाको नमुना परीक्षण पोजिटिभ आएको छ। सबैजना पर्साका हुनुहुन्छ। उमेरको हकमा 2 महिनादेखि 66 वर्षका उमेरका रहनुभएको हामीलाई विवरण प्राप्त भएको छ, जसमा 7 जना महिला र 10 जना पुरुषहरू हुनुहुन्छ। यसरी हाल देशमा कुल संक्रमितको संख्या 79 पुगेको छ।
Meanwhile, 3 persons who had been discharged from hospital after recovery earlier have tested positive again, the ministry said. Spokesperson at the ministry, Dr. Bikas Devkota, informed during a regular press meet that the 3 persons readmitted to the hospitals. Meanwhile, 6 persons undergoing treatment for coronavirus at Koshi Hospital have been discharged after they tested negative.
त्यसैगरी वैशाख 14 गते डिस्चार्ज हुनुभएका रौतहटका 19 वर्षीय र पर्साका 44 वर्षीय पुरुषहरूको पनि फलोअपमा पुनः परीक्षण गर्दा नमुना परीक्षण पोजिटिभ आएकोले वीरगञ्जको अस्पतालमा नारायणी अस्पतालमा भर्ना भई उपचारको क्रममा रहनुभएको छ।
The government has so far carried out 14,096 tests through the polymerase chain reaction method, whereas 52,970 samples have been tested through the rapid diagnostic test method. The number of people in quarantine at present is 18,734, while 136 have been kept in isolation across the country. The government has decided to extend the lockdown until May 18th. A meeting of the Council of Ministers held at the Prime Minister's official residence in Balwatar yesterday decided to extend the lockdown for the 5th time. The lockdown, which was to expire today, has now been extended by 11 days till May 18th. The cabinet decided not to lift the lockdown immediately, considering the risk posed by coronavirus due to the rising number of cases and the threat in border areas. The cabinet took such decision upon the recommendation of the high-level committee to prevent coronavirus. The committee had concluded that the measures taken by the government had proved to be effective in controlling the pandemic and had therefore recommended extension of the lockdown. The government had imposed the lockdown for the first time on March 24th after Nepal recorded the second case of coronavirus. The ruling Nepal Communist Party's Secretariat meeting has ended without reaching any conclusion. The Secretariat meeting held yesterday for drafting the agenda of today's Standing Committee meeting has ended without a conclusion. The Standing Committee meeting scheduled for today has now become uncertain after the Secretariat meeting could not reach to a decision yesterday. NCP spokesperson Narayan Kaji Shrestha informed that yesterday's meeting could not agree to hold the Standing Committee meeting. Now, the two chairpersons will decide on whether to develop a work schedule or call a meeting of the Standing Committee, spokesperson Shrestha further said.
20 जना स्थायी कमिटीको सदस्यहरूले बैठक बोलाउन माग गर्नुभएको कुरालाई समेत ध्यान दिई भोलि स्थायी कमिटीको बैठक बस्ने निर्णय गरिएको हो। त्यस सन्दर्भमा कार्यसूची र 20 गतेको निष्कर्षको मर्म अनुरूप प्रस्ताव तयार गर्ने प्रक्रियाका सन्दर्भमा दुईटा अध्यक्ष कमरेडरले अझै पनि गृह कार्य गर्न बाँकी रहेको जानकारी बैठकलाई गराइयो।
Prime Minister and Party Chairman KP Sharma Oli had left the Secretariat meeting in between. Prime Minister Oli left the meeting citing ill health and busy schedule, stated spokesperson Shrestha. This is Janata Bulletin. We'll be right back after a short break. Welcome back after the break. We continue with other national news. Lawmakers have demanded cancellation of the secondary school examinations, SEE, for this year due to coronavirus. SEE cannot get the same priority like the school leaving certificate, the MPs stated. They were of the viewpoint that this is the right opportunity to change the SEE syllabus as per the new education policy. SEE is no more the traditional SLC but just a secondary school examination, and hence it can be evaluated just as how grade 9 students get their examination assessed, opined MP Bhairav Bahadur Singh. MP Anjana Baishakh, however, stated that SEE cannot be cancelled for a year as it would leave a negative impact on both the parents and the students. Therefore, she demanded that the whole concept of SEE should be redesigned. The Education Committee of Lower House had earlier directed schools not to take new admissions and any fees in the name of online classes. Financial Controller General Gopinath Mainani has warned that the financial system of the country could face crisis because of the absence of Financial Responsibility Code. Speaking at a meeting of the Finance Committee yesterday, Mainani said working to counter the effects of the coronavirus could clash with the constitutional boundaries. Mainani drew the attention of the government that constitutional hurdles will have to be tackled carefully while spending 218 billion rupees deposited in the coronavirus fund. The government's income has taken a hit as the lockdown has caused the finance sector to come to a halt. Chairman of the National Natural Resources and Fiscal Commission, Bal Nanda Paudel, has said the government needs to change the modality of its expenditure to protect the country's economy. Paudel also urged the federal government to help the local levels manage their internal budget and help them support the local people. And now the news from the economic front. With the international economy destabilizing, the value of American dollar has also been fluctuating in the Nepali market. Yesterday, the Nepal Rashtra Bank had set the buying rate of rupees 120.71 and a selling rate of rupees 121.31 for $1 The effect of coronavirus in the global economy has had a major impact on the rise in the dollar value in Nepal. The price of petroleum and share market has also been destabilized in the international market. The drop in the dollar price has also drawn the attention of international investors who have also put their money in gold, causing its prices to soar high as well. The fixed exchange rate between the Indian and Nepali currency has permanently tied the future of the Nepali economy with its Indian counterpart. Time for a short break here at Janata Bulletin. Stay tuned for international news. Welcome back, and now the international news. India will begin flights today to bring home some 400,000 citizens stranded overseas by travel restrictions due to the coronavirus pandemic, Reuters reported. According to the news agency, this has prompted some worries over the risk that imported infections could fuel contagion in the country. India's coronavirus cases have reached almost 50,000 as of Wednesday. Around 1,700 people have lost their lives due to the disease. And there's still no sign of the curve flattening despite a stringent, weeks-long lockdown in the world's second most populous country. But responding to the distress among India's huge diaspora, the government has asked a national carrier, Air India, to provide aircraft to bring back Indians who want to return from the Middle East, Singapore, the United Kingdom and the United States. The Indian Navy has also been asked to help by sending 2 ships to evacuate citizens from the Maldives in the Indian Ocean. The first round of evacuations would bring around 200,000 people by the middle of May, and then by mid-June a total of 350,000 to 400,000 would be flown back, Reuters reported, citing a foreign ministry official. The Trump administration failed to prepare for the onslaught of the coronavirus, then sought a quick fix by trying to rush an unproven drug to patients, a senior government scientist alleged in a whistleblower complaint. According to AP, Dr. Rick Bright, former director of the Biomedical Advanced Research and Development Authority, alleges he was reassigned to a lesser role because he resisted political pressure to allow widespread use of hydroxychloroquine, a malaria drug pushed by President Donald Trump. He said the Trump administration wanted to flood hotspots in New York and New Jersey with the new drug. Bright said the government leadership was rushing blindly into a potentially dangerous situation by bringing in a non-FDA approved chloroquine from Pakistan and India. Bright's complaint comes as the Trump administration faces criticism over its response to the pandemic, including testing and supplies of ventilators, masks and other equipment to stem the spread. There have been nearly 1.2 million confirmed cases in the United States and more than 70,000 deaths. You are watching Janata Bulletin, and now the latest from the world of sports. The German Bundesliga season can resume this month, Chancellor Angela Merkel has confirmed. It will become the first major league in Europe to return to competition, with a date for resumption to be confirmed by the German Football League DFL today. All matches will be played behind closed doors. With 9 games remaining, Bayern Munich are top of the table, 4 points above Borussia Dortmund. The announcement comes a day after clubs in the top 2 German divisions returned 10 positive results from 1,724 coronavirus tests. The DFL had warned that many top division teams would be in an existence-threatening financial position if play did not resume by June. Players returned to training last month, with the DFL initially saying the league would be ready to return on 9th of May. Germany has banned large events with crowds until 24th October, so games will be played behind closed doors, but the DFL has developed a health and safety plan that would see only about 300 people or near the pitch during the matches to minimize the risk of infection. According to official figures, just under 7,000 people have died in Germany from coronavirus, a much lower figure than in other Western European countries, including the UK, Italy, France and Spain. We are at the end of Janata Bulletin and the headlines once again. Coronavirus tally climbed to 99 with 17 new cases. 2-month-old child tests positive. Cabinet decides to extend lockdown until May 18th. Threats from coronavirus in border areas still persists. NCP Secretariat meeting ends inconclusively, fails to decide on standing committee meeting slated for today. India plans to airlift 400,000 stranded citizens, decides to send aircraft with Navy ships for evacuation. And German Chancellor Angela Merkel gives green light to Bundesliga, says football can resume from later this month. And that's all from the English News Desk for today. You can follow Janata Television and our programs on various social media platforms, including on our website janatasamachar.com. We urge all our viewers to follow government directives of the lockdown and follow healthy hygienic practices to keep safe from any infection. Keep watching Janata Television. Namaste.